Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video, and today we're going to be playing Xbow Cycle, What's New, although for this specific video we're going to be focusing on the Ice Spirit, and so we're going to be playing 3.0 Xbow Cycle with the Ice Spirit, and so if you've watched my recent 3.0 Xbow Cycle videos, you'll probably notice that I've been using the Electro Spirit a lot, and so the Electro Spirit has widely replaced the Ice Spirit in almost all Xbow decks, especially recently. I would say in the current meta, Electro Spirit's definitely better, because there's a lot of bait, there's a lot of swarmy troops, and especially with decks like the Skeleton King, such as Mortar bait with the Skeleton King, Electro Spirit's just infinitely better. And so Electro Spirit can also be comboed with the Log to kill things like a Bomber, like a Firecracker, or one of my personal favorite interactions is a Fireball plus Log plus Electro Spirit, fully taking out an Archer Queen. Although that's not to say the Ice Spirit doesn't have its uses, it is still really good, and it is my personal favorite of the two. But I am using Electro Spirit because I think it's better. I do also think Ice Spirit is higher skill, although that doesn't matter too much. And so we are going to be playing a grand challenge. I'm currently 9-1, and we're going to be using 3.0 Xbow Cycle with Ice Spirit. I do also want to say that I did push to top 500 in the world a couple of days ago, and that video is in the works right now. I am editing it, but I wanted a bit of a break, but I do also still want to be consistent in my uploads, and so I'm going to be doing this instead, so hopefully it's fine with you guys, hope you enjoy. But yeah, we're going to be playing a grand challenge, and we're going to be using the Ice Spirit and focusing on how it's used, if it helps us or if it hurts us compared to the Electro Spirit in the matches. But yeah, that's a bit of a long preamble, but let's get into the matches, and hopefully we can get a nice 12 win, and see how good the Ice Spirit is for us. I'm going to search for our first match now. Queue time might take a little bit, so if it takes too long, I'm just going to edit the wait time out, so you guys don't have to suffer through the wait time. But there we go, we're into the first match against a Japanese player, from what it looks like. So we're going to give him the good luck, and cycle Skeleton's first play, and see what he wants to do. I'm going to split Archers, since he's going to cycle a Log, actually, so could be some kind of cycle deck, since he does have Logs. Spear Goblins too, so maybe a Mortar deck. I'm going to go Xbow to try and find out what he has, because I do also have split Archers, and he goes for a Mortar, so going to go for a Knight, since my Archer is going to get taken out, and he is unfortunately going to have a Cannon Cart, and Miner as well, so going to be a pretty hard counter, I would say, to us. I'm going to log this Cannon Cart, and it looks like that's actually not going to get us any damage. Maybe I should have logged the Miner as well. I think we actually could have gotten a pretty decent lock if I logged the Miner instead, but Mortar, Cannon Cart, Miner are going to be a really bad matchup. And if he has Bats or something like that, it's going to be even worse. I'm going to actually go for another Expo, since I believe I've outcycled his Cannon Cart. So he's going to go Spear Goblins and Mortar. Now he should be back to Cannon Cart, so I'm going to go Knight to not only block the Mortar, but also predict the Cannon Cart. And we're going to go Archers immediately to DPS down the Cannon Cart. And so he might go for a Miner now, or he might go for a Fireball on the Expo. I feel like a Fireball would be a better play. He's going to actually go for a Miner. So I'm going to go Skeletons and Ice Spirit as well. He does log our Skeletons, but we get a decent connection. I'm going to go for an Expo right away, since I think our opponent's going to be low on Elixir. If he has a Minion Horde right now, I honestly might lose. But we'll see. Looks like he doesn't actually have enough for a Mortar. He's going to go for Guards instead, so I'm going to log. And that is going to get taken out, so my opponent really messed up there. I'm going to give him the WoW, actually, because I feel like he should not be losing this matchup. But I think single Elixir is huge against almost any Mortar deck. You pretty much need to win. I was talking to some people. I'll explain more about that later, but let's focus on trying to win this match first. So I'm going to go for a Knight. He's probably going to predict my Tesla at the bridge, as he does, with the Cannon Cart at the bridge. So now I'm going to go for a defensive Expo. And because I had a feeling he would go for something on my support there, and Cannon Cart does unfortunately lock on to the Expo, but it's still fine because Expo still stays alive, and I don't need to worry about defending perfectly. I just need to worry about defending. And so he might switch lanes. Nope, he's actually going to go again. Just going to defensive Expo again, and I know he has Minion Horde in this deck. I'm almost certain of it. So you'll notice that I'm just holding on to my Fireball the whole time, just specifically for that Minion Horde, and there it is. So held on to my Fireball, really nice Fireball on every single minion. Now I can actually go for an Expo, because he just committed big time with that Log too, and I don't think he's back to Cannon Cart either. Nope. So he's going to have to go for a Cannon Cart now, and he's actually in a really bad spot, because as you can see, he's low on Elixir. He had to go for a low Cannon Cart, and looks like our opponent was actually in a bad spot, even in double, so really terrible matchup actually for us. But I'm going to be honest, since my opponent did not have bats, I don't actually know if that's going to be a better or worse with Ice Spirit, because Ice Spirit's going to be really good for, you know, chaining onto all of the minions, and chaining onto all the guards, chaining onto the spear goblins. But the longer freeze of the Ice Spirit, if I wanted to Ice Spirit to freeze any miner, it would be a lot better. Plus, Ice Spirit on a minion does make it one-shot by the tower. Electro Spirit makes it two-shot, so it's not as good. You still need something else with the Electro Spirit. Although, Electro Spirit would also help a lot on offense against spear goblins or guards. So I guess it's probably an even trade-off. Not too much of a difference there. But yeah, that's a really bad matchup, actually, because they have the cannon cart. But I was able to outcycle him in single, and did really well for myself thanks to that. So really good. First win, actually really proud of it. 10-1 now, so let's keep it going, and hope we can get some nice great games like those. So into the next match against Raz Bivacha Ralph. Not sure what the name means, but hopefully I didn't say any swear words in another language. He's gonna go Electro Spirit, and that actually doesn't tell me a lot, since there are a lot of cycle decks. Actually, this is looking like Xbow now, because what else runs archers? So I'm gonna go for skeletons and log. Bit of a risky start, and I'm gonna go for an Xbow actually, because I have an archer. He's gonna go knight and Tesla as well, so I'm gonna have to just let this go completely, because now what I'm worried about is if he goes for a Xbow with this Tesla, since he's, yep, he is. So I'm gonna go for a knight. Gonna go for a fireball on everything once the knight gets a bit closer, and then gonna go for archers as well to take out the Xbow. And he goes for a log, so he might get some damage. Yep, he gets a bit of damage. That is well played by him, honestly. Counter pushing with the Tesla is what he had to do, so well played to him. But we're not completely out of it at all. You know, we took about 200 damage down, but it's only single elixir, and the game is just starting, so nothing to panic about. Just take it calm. Gonna log cycle. Gonna switch lanes as well, because I don't want to go same lane as my opponent. I'm gonna go for an Xbow now, since he just split archers. I don't know if he's gonna be back tonight or not. He is, so he's gonna go for another Tesla, and I'm just gonna let that go. So what you'll notice there, I'm gonna go for an Ice Spirit as well to defend this one archer, and I can afford to take the one over here, since it's my lower health town. What you'll notice is I kind of invalidated his archers. Gonna go for knight plus Tesla, and then go for archers as well. And archers are gonna take out his Tesla, and it's just gonna get taken out. What you'll notice is that I kind of invalidated his archers in a way, because by going for the Xbow, his archers didn't get too much value. So that was my plan there. And I'm going to go for another Xbow, I think, since my opponent's cycle should be a bit messed up. He's going to go knight Tesla again, so I'm going to go for a knight this time and log everything back. Try and force maybe a fireball. Going to go for archers as well, and Ice Spirit, and we forced another knight out. So I'm going to go for skeletons to tank for my archer. And he's going to go for archers of his own, as well as skeletons to protect. So I'm going to go for an Xbow. I don't want to waste my knight, actually. So this is kind of a weird Xbow, to be honest. And he's going to get a pretty decent trade, actually. So maybe not the best Xbow by me. But let's see if he goes in here. Going to split archers, and he is going to go in. So going to go for a low knight. I think I'm going to fireball the Xbow, and then get back to a log. And just log his Xbow, log the archers, and go for my low cycle cards to just stall out this Xbow. I'm going to be down a bit of elixir because of that exchange, so he might go for another Xbow, and he does. So now I'm going to go for a knight and Tesla. And my opponent messed up. Actually, he didn't play the knight in time, so mistake by my opponent. That really helps me out. And I'm actually going to counter push with this Tesla now because of that mistake. So he's going to go for archers. Going to go for my own archers to take out his Tesla. He's going to log, but Tesla should get taken out, and I get a connection, so perfect. Xbow on tower. Gonna let it go now, because no need to overcommit. Just gonna be happy with my connection. Gonna go for a knight, now gonna go for an Xbow because I have a knight. And let's see if he goes for a Tesla. He is. I'm gonna fireball it, actually. This is kind of a weird fireball, but I think it should be pretty good. Gonna prediction log on his archers. And looks like he actually played skeletons. Don't know why he did that, that's pretty weird. Alright, looks like we just won the Xbow mirror match. I hear a lot of people say they don't like the Xbow mirror match, and to be honest, that is fair. It can be pretty luck-based, since if your opponent goes for split archers, and you have Knight, Tesla, Xbow, Fireball in your hand, you're not going to have a play to make, and so it's going to be a bit awkward for you actually, because you're going to be forced to lead, because if you cycle your knight, you're just going to go Xbow opposite lane. You're pretty much going to lose without the knight, because you need the knight to tank for the Xbow. So I kind of understand people who don't like that matchup, but for me personally, I love the Xbow mirror match, because I think it's, if you just treat it like you would any other matchup, you know, you can get starting handed, and of course Xbow is a deck that you can get starting handed with, although it's a lot less impactful than other decks, because it is a cycle deck. You can cycle to things really quickly. But if you don't get starting handed, I really love that matchup, because I feel like just treat it like any other matchup. Learn how to play the matchup, and once you figure out the specific plays to make, you'll learn that with experience, by the way. I would say this for learning any matchup. Don't just like watch one guide and then think you have the whole matchup down. Of course, I myself make some matchup guides or matchup analysis sometimes, and I do think it's useful to learn what more experienced players do in the matchup, but you should also really figure matchups out by yourself and learn what to do, because no one else can tell you what to do at every given time while you're playing. You're going to have to make those decisions for yourself. That was kind of a long-winded tangent, but yeah, basically, back to the point, Xbow mirror match, I would say this was about 55-45 in his favor, so talking about the Electro Spirit, because Electro Spirit can chain on to many things. Ice Spirit, in that matchup, you'll notice I didn't really get much out of my Ice Spirit. My lock was mostly because of my decision making and my micro gameplay, not because of the fact that I had an Ice Spirit. Actually, Electro Spirit is better because you can chain onto both archers, you can chain onto all 3 skeletons, and you can just chain onto everything. And most importantly, like I was saying earlier, Electro Spirit plus log does take out archers. It takes out stuff like Firecracker Bomber. Archers is also one of those cards, and so it is better against that. And so I would say it is honestly better in this matchup to have the Electro Spirit. So really happy I was able to win in spite of that. But yeah, really nice match against Xbow for the 11th win. Let's get into the next match, and hopefully we can win. You know, if I lose, it's not the end of the world, since I still have 2 more losses to give. But, well, 1 more loss to give. If I give 2 losses, I'm out. But I'd rather not, you know. So we're searching, and queue time is looking kind of bad again, so might be cutting it. Alright, after what feels like an eternity, we are into the next match against Rory. Do defer. I'm going to cut that wait time. It was like over 2 minutes. So I'm going to cut that wait time so you guys don't have to deal with it. He's going to go for a Valk first play. So I'm going to Xbow opposite, because Valk is a tank for the Xbow, usually. And he's going to go for Wallbreakers too, so might be a Goblin drill deck. I'm going to go for a knight for this Valk. I'm going to go for a knight like this. Notice how it pulls the Valkyrie out of my Xbow's range, and so that allows me to get the Xbow on tower. So I'm going to go for an Ice Spirit now, just because I don't know. Yeah, I feel like that was a really good Ice Spirit, because I needed to freeze that. Otherwise the Goblins would have gotten onto my tower. But yeah, so it's going to be Goblin Drill, and I really don't like this matchup, actually. So he's going to go for Dark. I'm going to go for an Xbow again, and see if we can force something out. He goes for a Valk. Quite weird that he goes opposite lane, I feel. Gonna log the Wallbreakers as well. Hopefully the tower helps out in time. Alright, 1 Wallbreaker gets taken out. That's good. And he goes for a Fire Spirit. So Ice Spirit there was huge, actually. The video's about, you know, Ice Spirit versus Electro Spirit. And Ice Spirit just now was really good, because it froze the Fire Spirit for a longer time. If it was Electro Spirit, the Fire Spirit might have still jumped, actually. That is kind of a minor detail, but yeah, I don't know. But he's going to have an interesting Drill Wallbreakers deck, and it looks like he has Dark Goblin as well. So I'm not sure if he's going to have a building, like a Tesla. I'm not sure if he's going to have a big spell, but he's actually going to spam really hard right now. So going to go for a knight and log, and going to pull this Valk back with Skeleton so that it doesn't splash onto my tower, and so that the knight helps out. And we're in a pretty good spot, actually. So we're up by 1,000 damage. Still haven't figured out if he has a building. I think he's revealed about 6 cards so far. Not sure. Goes for a Fire Spirit and Guard, so he's spamming really hard. Drill players, they do like to spam, actually, like, really hard. So I'm gonna go for a knight, and then log. And Valk is getting a bit uncomfortably close to my tower, but I think I'm fine. Gonna go for an Xbow now, because he doesn't have Valk in Cycle, and he has a Tesla, so I'm gonna go Ice Spirit, Archers instantly. He has Guard, so I'm gonna go for a Tesla like this. If he goes for a Fireball, I don't want him to be able to hit everything, so I want to make it a bit hard. Yep, as you can see, the Xbow is still alive, and the Tesla is still alive, more importantly, so he wasn't able to fireball everything. I'm going to go for an Xbow again, go for a Knight to predict something like Dark Goblin or a Tesla. Guard's going to log, I'm going to go Archers immediately to DPS down whatever he plays. Goes for a Valk opposite lane. That's fine. Archers are going to get on tower, so don't know what my opponent's doing letting them get on tower. And I honestly don't know what my opponent is doing at all, because he has a whole Expo to deal with. Why is he going Goblin Drill on offense? I really don't know. I'm really confused, actually. But I guess he tanked my Expo for long enough, but notice that I went for a defensive Expo too, because I wanted to play it down, especially because I wanted to get his Fireball out. And he's going to go for a Drill now. Really bad Goblin Drill by my opponent. Like, one of the worst Goblin Drills I've ever seen in my entire life. Honestly, no offense to him. Good game, but yeah, like, my opponent's priorities were just all over the place just now. Like, he had my Expos to deal with, and meanwhile, he was just focusing on hitting my tower, you know, putting a drill on my tower, spamming Dark Gob, not spamming, but going Dark Gob Valk all opposite lane, not into my Expo, which means they didn't even get any direct value onto the Expo. I feel like he should have gone for high Valks, maybe Valk to tank for the Tesla, and maybe Dark Goblin to step my Expo, force the log out, or something like that. Do not know what, no offense to my opponent, of course, but I just feel like he played that really poorly, honestly. And I'm not complaining, because I usually don't like Goblin Drill matchups, but this one is probably pretty good, I guess, because he has no small spell. He only has a Fireball. But yeah, 12 win. Actually, we do get the 12 win, which is really nice. And I was saying that I'm going to cut out the wait time for that video for sure, for that 12 win match, because I waited for at least 2 minutes, if not more, and didn't find a match. So, gonna open the 12 win chest though. Actually, gonna take a screenshot as well, because why not? It's a 12 win. But hopefully we can get a nice chest. Actually, I do have about 137k gold, so the gold is really nice. I need to upgrade stuff. Hopefully I get nice cards as well. A champion would be really nice, although I don't think champion drop rates from chests are good at all. Yep. It looks like we don't get a legendary, but I mean, how are you going to complain? It's a 12 win Grand Challenge chest. It's going to be a pretty good chest. And so we're going to get a nice 12 win chest, a nice 12 win GC, and here I'm reminded of my unfortunate global tournament results. Did not get any badges. One of my goals for this new year was actually to improve my global tournament badges, since I'm actually really happy with them. I mean, number 22, probably one of my best achievements in this game that I'll ever get. But I'd like to at least improve this 284 to maybe another top 200. Then I'd be really happy. But I mean, I'm still happy with my badges. I'm pretty proud of them. But yeah, 12 wins, really nice. We beat Goblin Drill, we beat Xbow Cycle with Electro Spirit, and we beat Mortar. So this, I would say, really bad match. Really happy we were able to beat that. This is pretty close to an even match, although I would say Electro Spirit does give them an advantage. But of course, it is ultimately about experience and decision making, and my opponent, I was able to beat him there. And Goblin Drill, my opponent was just all over the place, not sure what he was doing, to be honest. Again, no offense to him, but just, like, wow. Yeah. But for this matchup, I feel like Ice Spirit is probably better, actually. This might be weird, but because Electro Spirit would be able to chain onto, you know, both Wallbreakers easily, would be able to chain onto all the guards, possibly multiple goblins, but for the Goblin Drill's goblins, you can probably get an Ice Spirit in all of them if you place it well enough. For Wallbreakers, you can do the same, and for the Fire Spirit, and just for the Ice Spirit's freeze overall, I mean, there was that one point where I had the Fire Spirit coming at me, and the Ice Spirit Ice Spirit freeze stun was a lot better than if I had Electro Spirit, because it might have jumped if it was just an Electro Spirit. I mean, Ice Spirit stun is 1 second, which is pretty long, and the Electro Spirits is, I believe, only 0.5 seconds. Yeah, so literally half the Ice Spirit, which actually does add up quite a lot. It might not seem like it, but especially against heavier decks like RG or Lava Hound, that stun can mean all the difference. So, and the damage as well. Ice Spirit does more damage as well. I believe it was about 10% more damage. Actually, I guess we can check. Does 110 damage, and Electro Spirit should do, yep, 99. So it's about 10% more. 11% more, I think. Which does actually change interactions like it did against the Minion Horde, or against Lava Pups. If you guys didn't know, Electro Spirit does Electro Spirit plus Princess Tower doesn't take out any Lava Pup. So a lot of people think that Electro Spirit's better against Lava Hound because of the fact that it chains onto all the pups, but actually it doesn't, I would say, because you want the freeze and you want it to get one-shot by the tower afterwards. I would say chaining onto everything is just short-term stunning, but not necessarily solving any issues, you know? But yeah, that's going to be a really nice 12, and actually I believe, I'm actually going to check right now, go to Royale API on my computer real quick, but I believe that is my 69th 12-win grand challenge on this account, and we'll see if that's the case. Either 68th or 69th, but it might be my 69th. Anyway, if it is, that's going to be pretty great. I'm also at 6,900 trophies, you know. But yeah, 12 win and Xbow with Ice Spirit. So again, I have been making a lot of videos with Electro Spirit recently. All my latter videos are probably going to be with Electro Spirit, since it is just better against a wider range of matchups, I feel. Or it's not better against a wider range, but it covers bad matchups that would be better with Electro Spirit compared to Ice Spirit. Again, Skeleton King decks, better against Graveyard, better against any kind of bats deck, because Ice Spirit can deal with all bats. Again, Ice Spirit's just a lot higher skill, a lot harder to hit everything with, and so it's just easier and less stressful to have the Electro Spirit to not have to worry about hitting everything, just have it hit everything easily. But Ice Spirit's stun cannot be underestimated at all. I do like it a lot, actually, and I do prefer it over the Electro Spirit, which is why it always has a soft spot in my heart. But, I mean, Electro Spirit is just better right now. So we'll see. I mean, there are balances coming in about 2 weeks, and we'll see if the meta shapes up after that to still favor Electro Spirit or Ice Spirit. But for you guys, this isn't necessarily a comparison video. This was just for me to kind of play Ice Spirit and discuss the differences between Ice and Electro Spirit in the matches that I played themselves, which I did. But for you guys personally, I would say just choose whatever you're more comfortable with. If you think you can hit everything with Ice Spirit all the time, then it is going to be better, because Electro Spirit, the main benefit of Electro Spirit is the fact that it can chain onto things without actually thinking about your placement that much. You just have to make sure it hits. Whereas for Ice Spirit, you have to make sure it hits everything, because if not, if you have a minor bats on your tower and you can't hit all the bats with Ice Spirit, you're going to be forced to overcommit even more with something like Archers or Fireball, and you don't want to do that, obviously. So if you want an easier time, I would say Electro Spirit's just better, especially if you guys are in like mid-ladder and there's a lot of Skarmy, a lot of Bait and Swarm. Electro Spirit is better, but Ice Spirit's better if you can hit it on everything, and overall just really nice as well, so can't be underestimated at all. But yeah, that's going to be the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. This was a kind of a side grand challenge video about the Ice Spirit. That latter video is going to be coming out pretty soon as well, so hope you look forward to that. And as always, feel free to leave any kind of video suggestions you have in the comments. Again, I cannot get to every single suggestion, and I usually make what I feel like making anyway, so I just felt like making an Ice Spirit video right now, which is why I did. But I do like taking suggestions into account as well, so, you know, it's not necessarily that I'm just going to follow every single suggestion and make every single video that you guys want, but I do also like to follow suggestions that you guys would prefer as well, so let me know what you'd like to see next. Ladder video is coming out, and just focusing on consistency and commentary videos as well. But yeah, this got kind of long, but thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video.